City to city, state to state, coast to coast, it is the number one podcast in the state of Kansas. What makes it number one? Because it gives young student athletes a voice to not only talk about their sport, but to also to talk about their faith and their education. We also get the occasional coaches interviews, and hopefully we'll have some player interviews lined up for next week, as I have definitely reached out to one in particular. So I am looking forward to having him on, and we're going to work this out to where we can do this next week. Might have two. I'm going to tell you right now, the one that I'm looking at, he's from Cheney High School. No, he's not one of the star players whose names you might read in the paper. He's actually one of the, as they say in college and pro term, he's one of the big nasties on the front line, protecting the skill position players. And I just believe that this will be a first, so look forward to having him on the podcast, and he's ready to come on. So having those big nasties on, I believe this will be a first, so you don't want to miss it. Of course, last night was Friday night football, playing up under those Friday night lights. And if it wasn't lights, it was some light in the area flashing. That would be called lightning, to which it had an effect on some games. But the games it didn't have an effect on, we're going to give that to you right now. The contributing writer for this particular story is my good friend, my brother, Blake Chadwick. That name sound familiar? It should. Can you say Joanna Chadwick? Someone who's been writing for Byte Magazine forever and a day. And every now and then you will hear a voice on KFH Sports Radio. Yes, I say that with a badge of honor because I happen to work there. Also, Coach Chadwick down at Derby. That's right. So Blake comes from some pretty good stock, as you can see. But what we're going to do right now is give you the rundown. And once again, special shout out to Blake Chadwick, who is just relentless in what he does. I admire him. I don't know how he does it, but I admire him. To be able to juggle writing stories for Byte Magazine to doing spots on TV, being the fill-in voice of the Shockers when Mike Kennedy can't be there. I mean, this guy just wears a lot of hats. And may I say it like this, a lot of production hats. Anyway, we have Friday's high school football scores for September the 20th. Lightning, rain, and hail wreaked havoc on high school football games across the Wichita area. Delays were common, and the Wellington Clearwater game was called with 8 minutes to go in the game, while Medicine Lodge in Mountain Ridge was canceled. But the Derby Panthers had no problem finding a rhythm against the Salina South Cougars after an 86-yard kickoff return and touchdown by speedy senior defensive back Martell Jackson, a safety forced by the defense, followed by a 50-yard kickoff return for touchdown by James Middlebrook, and then a 45-yard punt return by Deson Brain. The Panthers' offense did not see the field until it was 23-0 with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. The Panthers found the end zone 3 more times in the first quarter. extending their lead to 44-0 by the end of the first. From there, the running clock began, and the second and third string players got valuable reps as Derby cruised to a 59-7 victory. Arias Friendly added 2 touchdowns for Derby, while Brame and Dalen Bledsoe each had a receiving touchdown. The Pratt Greenbacks won handily against Larned 70-0 thanks to senior Owen Schmidt. Schmidt had 4 defensive touchdowns and the breakdown was like this: 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, all in the second quarter alone. He finished with 6 total touchdowns. Great Bend took care of Bueller 43-26 on the back of junior Ian Primer and his monster performance of 5 touchdowns, receptions, and 1 interception. Collegiate improved to 3-0 with a 30-0 win over El Dorado. Andale cruised to a 52-0 win over Rose Hill to stay unbeaten, scoring 46 first half points. Cooper Marks had 152 yards rushing on 7 carries and 1 touchdown. However, Harp scored twice, while Jack Korsh, Hunter Grimes, and Charles Parsons each had a touchdown. Grimes also passed for 103 yards and a touchdown. Northwest came from behind to beat Junction City 43-30 to improve to 3-0 in a game that didn't finish until 11:45 p.m. Cheney is still undefeated after a 41-7 win over Garden Plain. It's the Cardinals' 16th straight win. Conway Springs 3-0 with a 4-0 with a 42 win over Douglas. Isaac Winter had 158 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, while Eli Howard, Levi Miles, and Cade Howell both scored as well. Eisenhower beats Newton 49-7 to improve to 3-0. May South's game ends after 11:30 p.m. as the Mavericks move 3-0 with a 10-7 win over Valley Center. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to give you the rundown of the scores. Some scores you might hear repeated, but hopefully you'll hear your team's name mentioned on here as well. Abilene 37, Concordia 7, Andale 52. That's right, Andale 52, Rose Hill 0. Argonia Attica 48. Cedarville Dexter 28. Bishop McGinnis playing host to Wichita's own Bishop Carroll. And let's just say Bishop McGinnis was not a gracious host as they send the Eagles with clipped wings to the tune of 49-0. Chanute 27, McPherson 14, Chaparral 21, Belle Plaine 0, Cheney 41, Garden Plain 7, Conway Springs 42, Douglas 0, Derby 59, Salina South 7, Dodge City 42, Wichita South 8, Eisenhower 49, Newton 7, Flint Hills 32, Sedan 30, Goddard 14, Andover 13, Ellsworth 26, Minneapolis 21, Eureka 38, Cherryville 26, Great Ben 43, Bueller 26, Halstead 38, Nickerson 0, Haven 42, Smoky Valley 16, Heston 27, Hillsboro 12, Hutchinson 21, Mays 0, Hutchinson Central Christian 48, Stafford 0, Lincoln 52, Beloit St. John's Tipton 6, Little Prairie 32, Century 0, Linden 72, Independence 72-6, Mays South 10, Valley Center 7, Oxford 66, Central Burden 6, Pratt 70, Larned 0, Pratt Skyline 22, Pretty Prairie 24, Reno County Homeschool 64, Fairfield 42, Rural Vista 46, Gossel 0, Salina Central 48, Campus 0, Cedric 47, Harrington 0, Scott City 29, Hoisington 7, South Sumner 41, Southeast Cherokee 22, Sterling 21, Inman 20, Topeka 26, Wichita Southeast 0, Wellington 35, Clearwater 14, West Elk 72, Udall 0, Wichita Collegiate 30, El Dorados 0, Wichita Northwest 43, Junction City 30. Postponed games on Saturday. Andover Central 56, Arc City 17. Andover Central is 3-0 and has scored at least 50 points in each of its last 2 games. Burlington versus Madison, 1 p.m. Saturday. Capon versus East, noon Saturday versus at Southeast. Cakeman 21. Trinity Academy 33. Why would I take the time to read that score? Because it looked like they were not fazed by the weather. As Kingman once again rebounded from his loss in week 2 to Cheney. Mulvane 29, Circle 19. Manny Myers scored on a 1-yard run early in the 4th quarter to give Mulvane the lead for good. The Wildcats have won 3 straight. We have some canceled games in Mound Ridge versus Medicine Lodge. We even have some games from Thursday. As the Elson knocks off Norwich 52-6. Fredonia 21. Bluestem 0. Winfield 28. Agum. Augusta 0. And I believe that pretty much gives us a hand on all the scores. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'll come back with some more on In the Zone with Anthony. Podcast, your host and conductor of the state's #1 podcast. We gave you some scores from the high school games that were played on Friday night. Now we're going to take a look. Of course, it might not be as in-depth and as detailed, but we're going to take a look at the KCAC, as games were played today. One in particular I had the opportunity to go to. It was a back and forth game, very entertaining game. One team finally got the 2014 monkey off their back. Yeah, it's been that long since they've beaten this team. But we're going to start first as McPherson College dominated University of St. Mary by the score of 38-10. Evangel knocked off Sterling 38-14. Southwestern College, and I'm actually reading scores from September 14th. I may as well finish this one. Southwestern College beat Kansas Wesleyan University 44-14. Now let's get back on track here. As today, September 21st, Bethel College beat Avila 20-17. McPherson beat Ottawa University 31-14. A game I had the opportunity to go to. Friends University knocks off Kansas Wesleyan in a game that went back and forth. A game that came down to a last-second field goal. Friends University wins that game by the score of 28-26. And to get you set for the games that are coming up, McPherson will be taking on Avila next week on the 28th. Game time's 1 p.m. 1:30 kickoff for Southwestern College and Sterling College. And a 3 p.m. kickoff for Evangel University going up against Ottawa University. However, we do also have some more news regarding the KCAC. A report that came out on September the 17th three KCAC teams are now ranked in the top 25 in latest NAIA football Go Route Coaches Poll. Evangel University and Friends University remained at the same spots they occupied in the previous poll, coming in at number 16 and number 21, respectively. Southwestern College was ranked number 24, which was an improvement on their standing in the previous poll, in which the Mound Builders were part of the receiving votes category of the poll. And we're going to give you a breakdown of how these teams, which is called the rating methodology. The rating is rated by a panel of head coaches representing each of the conferences. Each conference is given one rater for every 4 schools in the league or division. The top 25 is determined by a point system based on how each rater rates the best teams. A team receives 25 points for each first place vote, 24 for second place, 23 for third place, and so on through the list. The highest and lowest ratings for each team, a non-rating is considered a low rating, are removed. The team's rating will be recalculated with an additional point added to each team for every ballot, including discounted ballots that the team appears on. Teams that receive only 1 point in the ballot, are not considered receiving votes. So we're going to go ahead and give you the NAIA top 25. Coming in at number 1 with the 2-0 record is Kaiser, Florida. Number 2, Northwestern Iowa with the 2-0 record. Coming in at number 3, moving up 1 spot, it's Grandview, Iowa with the 2-0 record. Coming in at number 4, previous rank was 9, Montana Western at 2-0. Coming in at number 5, and that's moving up a spot, is Marion, Indiana at 2-0. Moving up a spot from 7 to 6, Bethel, Tennessee at 3-0. A team that dropped, and I'm pretty sure their loss has something to do with it. They were number 5, and now they're at the number 7 spot. Indiana Wesleyan at 2-1. Number 8, moving up 2 spots from the number 10 spot, St. Thomas, Florida at 2-0. A team that dropped in the polls from 3 to 9, College of Idaho at 2-1. Moving up 2 spots to the 10th spot is Dort, Iowa at 1-0. Dropping 3 spots from 8 to 11, St. Xavier, Illinois at 1-1. Moving up 3 spots from 15 to 12, Montana Tech at 2-0. Number 13, after moving up 1 spot, Morningside, Iowa at 2-1. A team that dropped 2 spots from 12 to 14, Benedictine, Kansas at 2-1. Another team that dropped 4 spots from 11 to 15, Georgetown, Kentucky at 1-2. Holding firm at 16 is Evangel, Missouri at 3-0. Coming in at number 17 after being 18 a week ago, Baker, Kansas at 2-0. Moving up a spot from 19th to 18th, another Texas school, Texas Wesleyan at 3-0. Moving up 1 spot from 20 to 19, Mid-America Nazarene at 2-0 for our great state of Kansas. Moving up 3 spots from 23 to 20, Southern Oregon at 2-0. Holding firm at 21, Friends University at 3-0. Of course, you heard about their thrilling victory earlier today. Dropping a few spots from 16 to 22, Dickinson State, North Dakota at 2-1. Moving up 2 spots from the 25th spot is Lindsey Wilson at 2-1. Number 24, after not being ranked a week ago, out of the state of Kansas, is Southwestern Kansas with a 3-0 record, and also a team that played alongside. He wears the Golden Dome helmet. By the way, this school is known for the nuns and the priest. This next man This next team, is St. Francis. No, coming at 24, Southwestern Kansas. After not being ranked, coming at 24, and rounding out the top 25 is St. Francis out of Illinois. Also, after not being ranked, coming in at number 25. Dropped from the top 25 is Reinhardt, Georgia. Receiving votes, southeastern Florida from Campbellsville. So there you have the top 25 in the NAIA as it stands right now. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and bring this train into the station as the hour is growing late. But get out and check out some of these games here in the state of Kansas, these small schools that play in the KCAC, which is the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference. You will be entertained. I was entertained until the rain started coming down. Go out and check out some of these high school games. Support these young men. They need your support. But until the next time, take care of yourself and each other. Hope you enjoyed the train ride. This is yours truly, Anthony Smith, on the #1 podcast, State of Kansas. I'm out.